is over this Instagram that you all keep trying to get me on. I'm seeing these hashtags, salty ladies, sunshine ladies. What are we?
So I took Ethan laser tagging recently, and as much as I love it, it is a little difficult when you first get in there and everything goes dark, right?
So
and you're
dark.
like, oh, where do I go? What do I do? How am I gonna beat my teenager, right? Right. You know, as you're kind of feeling those moments, and then boom, you know, the black lights come on, and it's like, oh, okay, now I can see everything glowing in the dark, or where do I stand, you know, to hide behind, stuff like that. It sort of reminded me of a real estate transaction. Most people aren't buying a home every year.
Right.
It's, you know, 7 to 10 years or whatever. And so they're a little bit in the dark. And our crew here as the team in the real estate transaction is supposed to be the black light for them and kind of lead them. And this is the next step, or here's where we go next, right?
I can so relate, you know, clients just being in the dark about the whole lending process in general. I feel like there's this big misconception that clients can't be honest with me. You know, they can't be afraid of a past credit history,
Right.
or, you know, maybe something that happened that was devastating to them in their financial past. We've got to have that honesty and that open communication. It's a safe place to talk. You know, their privacy is protected. Absolutely.
Right.
And once we have that open communication, then I can help best guide them. You know, then they're not in the dark, and it just makes things go so much smoothly.
I think people are failing to realize that they're under contract. There's a process here,
right.
right? I mean, there's an end result. So unless you're checking the balances of everything that's supposed to happen from contract to close, which you have a big part of and I have a big part of, it's so important. So we can't go dark. And then before we even get to that point, it's where do we go as far as a neighborhood? I personally cannot weigh in on demographics. So if there's something that is important to you, or if you want to know how long does it take to get from my school, or what school we are in, or what is the demographic of where I'm living, some of these things I can't legally actually answer. It's up to you. Go knock on a neighbor's door. See the response that you're getting. See if this is someplace that you would actually like to live, because everything has an exterior facade, but we know that behind the facade is really where it matters. So don't leave yourself in the dark.
So in my law practice, ladies, I always try to be a guiding light so that people don't go dark in 2 ways. I stress first that they need to respond timely. I send out paperwork to a buyer, they need to send it right back. We don't need to have a gap in them responding to me, because we can't get our file opened and we can't get our title search ordered, which are imperative to make it to the closing table. Number 2 is wiring of funds. I don't think people realize that we don't take personal checks, we don't take bank checks. It has to be in the form of a wire. Those 2 things are major when it gets down to the closing table. So my number 1 goal is to get the people in their new home, and communication and not going dark is the key to that for sure.
Exactly. And that's the whole key, is not going dark, following a process. And we've got 4 people here that can be a huge guiding light to potential homeowners. You know, we just have to have, again, that open communication. And again, the client has to buy into that local expert.
Absolutely.
Well, I love that you say like buy in, because it's interesting for us on our software program. We can see when people actually open their report, so we know that way we know they successfully received it. We have so many times seen people that actually buy an inspection and then they don't read the report. They just leave it to their agent, which is great. And if they have a great agent, that's wonderful, but you're paying for that yourself. You should read it yourself. So it always kind of blows my mind that they choose to stay in the dark and just leave it to someone else. Not that that's wrong, but if I'm gonna pay for it, I want the product.
One way I'm in the dark, ladies, personally, lately, is over this Instagram that you all keep trying to get me on. I'm seeing these hashtags, salty ladies, sunshine ladies. What are we?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I call us the Sunshine Ladies. I want to empower, encourage, and just uplift everybody. I mean, we're all just women, right? Or if we're not women, we're men, and we're all trying to do good anyway. So, you know, I mean, it's just getting behind things that you know that are good and really trying to bring us to the point of how do we help each other and how do we just be our best selves?
I love that, although I don't feel like we're sunshine all the time. In fact, I think we're a little bit salty. I personally refer to us as the salty ladies because you know what? Why not have an edge in everything you do, whether it be business, fashion, you know, life in general? Have a little salt to you.
Okay, fine.
Ladies, that's what I love about getting together is that sometimes I never know, even when I show up, are we going to be a little sunshine or, hey, maybe we need to be a little salty.
Cheers to sunshine or salty.
Yeah.